Welcome to another episode of the Elevated Barbers podcast. My name is Bradford Kelly. I am the owner of Another Level of Barbering, and I am the proud co-host of the one, the only Elevated Barbers podcast. And I am here with my man.
This is Delmar, aka the Prince, owner of Royalist Grooming, and also co-host of the one and only Elevated Barbers podcast. Let's start the show.
Here we are, and we are on the final episode, season finale, episode 12 of our first season, man. Let's clap it up, bro. Clap it up.
12 episodes.
Man, 12 episodes. It has been a very, very interesting first season. I think that we've learned a lot about just how to do a podcast. I mean, me and you, we both have never been experienced in this situation. And I think we've done a really, really good job just creating a platform where other barber and beauty professionals can feel safe to come, to listen, and to glean from some wisdom, especially from yourself, just about how to be a more prepared barber for the industry that we're in. So, I mean, Delmar, what are you thinking about today, man? Last episode, man. That's a wrap.
So today I just kind of reflecting on the 12 episodes, well, the previous 11 episodes of this season, and just I know the feeling that we had when we were talking about doing a podcast after we did um the interview on the URCEO program, and it sparked an idea for both of us, and we just we talked about it, and we went with it.
Yeah.
I had my fears. I'm quite sure you had yours as well. Um, y'all know I don't like being behind the camera, although Instagram may say otherwise.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, I do not like being behind the camera. But the only way that my clients or other barbers can get to know me is for me to just put myself out there and talk about some of my experiences. Same as with you, Brad. But I feel like for us to not have any experience, we made changes along the way.
Yeah, yeah.
My mic sounded terrible in episode one. I sounded like I was taking orders at Starbucks.
At
But
least you wasn't visually doing a robot like I was on episode.
yeah, you was doing the disco dance, you freezing in place.
Yeah, man, that was crazy, man.
You like a Sega Genesis action game.
Yeah,
But
man. Like Tecmo Bowl froze.
yeah, but we made improvements. We weren't too much worried about trying to get it perfect, but the thing was to, just go with it.
Yeah.
We're making necessary adjustments.
Improve as we go, man.
Yep,
Improve as we go.
that's
I
right.
got me a better video camera just to be able to fellowship you, man, with your situation, because everything was golden on your side. I was out here looking gritty. So invested in a camera, man, just to make the visual experience a little bit easier for those that are listening and watching.
That's right.
So it's been good, man. It's been good.
For those of
So
y'all who don't know, Brad, he don't like technology.
I don't.
But he's gotten better. He's been posting a lot more on Instagram lately. So can we just give Brad a round of applause just for putting forth more effort into social media?
Yeah,
But
man.
I tell y'all this, um, I don't know how this podcast would have gone if it wasn't for Brad. Like Brad is literally the engine behind this podcast.
What do
He
you
may
mean? What
say
are you,
he may say otherwise,
what
but
are you talking about?
Brad just has this gift to talk,
You
and he does
what
it
you
very
saying is that
well.
I talk a lot.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
you
no,
saying, man. Anytime
no,
you say
no.
that, that's what you be saying. That's like your hidden way of saying, bro, you talk a lot.
No, I'll just say that you are a passionate talker, but it works well because I'm not. I'm more reserved, laid back. You get more excited and more energetic when it comes to talking, especially about things that you're really into. So I
Yeah.
think we're a great combo. We're a great pair. We balance each other out. But I definitely couldn't run this podcast by myself, bro. I couldn't.
Yeah.
So you are
And
the
I don't
engine
think it
behind EBP.
yeah, I don't think it would be as good as it is if I was just by myself, just running my mouth, just talking. So nah, man, I think we definitely work together as a team, work together as a unit, and I mean, it's been fun, man. This has been a fun 12 episodes. Well, this is the 12th episode, but so far it's just been fun. So
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to season two. Um, we talked about having guests, so it,
yeah,
it just won't be me and Brad pretty faces on the screen no more,
yeah,
or
yeah.
y'all won't just be listening to our voices on Apple and Spotify. So
You gonna
we
get
got
some other
some,
people.
yeah, we got some big things planned. We got some people that we're lining up to be a part of the Elevated Barbers podcast and
Yeah,
help to grow our audience, as well as y'all hear more of other people's experiences as well.
yeah. All right. Well, D, I have something to share with you, man. Is it okay if I share?
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about, something that happened, but go ahead. I'll let you start. We,
Well,
we might be thinking the same thing.
it's possible, but I just want to say I really like my jacket. I really like my jacket.
I
Can y'all
definitely
see
wasn't
it?
thinking that. But it
You
is a nice jacket, though.
you see what I'm saying? I got my little.
You got
So
a big
you
ass
have
feet.
inspired me in different ways, D, this season. Just in different ways. But one of the things that you did is you posted something on IG talking about branding and just how and why you wear your uniform. I was like, man, like that's good, that's nice. But I was already in the mindset to do it. It was just like now press go, like go.
Mm.
And so I actually am going to be coming out with different jackets. These bomber type jackets for me and my clientele. And eventually, hopefully, I'm working on a small clothing line. So I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited about that. But I like the fact that y'all can't see it because my thing keep getting blocked up. But
I see it.
that's my little
ALB.
logo, man. ALB.
And that's
So
nice. That's real nice.
yeah, and then this wine color jacket. I like the color, man, and I like the
Mm.
jacket itself. It's super comfortable. It fits well. And the colors is just so unique. It's kind of it pops when people see you. So, and I don't got to do too much because I don't like doing too much, but I do like looking nice. And just putting on a jacket, it works, man.
Yeah, that's a rich looking jacket.
Oh yeah, man. Gotta fake it till you make it.
Brad,
Yes,
um,
sir.
I know we have been talking about some things that you had lined up. And I wanted to pull out of you that you had an experience today with doing one of the things that we had talked about you doing for the future. So, would you
Yeah.
care to expound on your experience from today?
So to everybody that don't know what he's talking about, it has been a passion of mine for the last couple years to get into educating and to speak to barbers just about how to get to another level of barbering for themselves. It's taken a while, but the the platform is now being created over the last 2-3 months of understanding business and courses, taking business classes, as you all have seen if you watch the episodes, and you kind of know that me and Delmar went through this Run My Business Challenge. And through the Run My Business Challenge, it was able to give me a lot of momentum to get into the space that I said I wanted to get into. And so I was able to go to an event a couple weeks ago, which was the NorCal Barber Expo. And as I was at the NorCal Barber Expo, I connected with different people that actually opened the door for me to be able to speak at Urban Barber College. And Urban Barber College is the most popular barber college here in the Bay Area. And being able to do that was a blessing, like to say the least. It was the craziest morning ever, though, Delmar. Like the craziest morning ever, man. First off, I got no sleep the night before because I was working on the presentation, and I am not good at making presentations yet. And because I'm not good at making presentations, it takes me like forever to do it. So I was working on it for like the last 2 days, and the way that my brain works, I have to say what I see to see if what I'm saying makes sense. And so I'm doing that through the presentation though. So I'm literally like creating something and then saying it in my head and kind of seeing myself speak. And I was like, no. And so it just keeps going on and on and on and on. And so I got zero sleep, like literally 0 hours, not one morsel of minute, nothing.
Yeah,
And
that's some serious determination right there. Dedication, I
yeah,
should say.
yeah. I definitely wanted to do well. You know what I mean? I wanted to do well. And so I get done with the presentation. I mean, class starts at 10. I'm supposed to meet my videographer at 9 at the location. And it's 8:15, 8:20, somewhere around there, and I'm still like finishing up slides. Still finishing up slides, a couple different slides. And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And so I'm right about to leave, like right about to leave. And I had this thing that I wanted to do where I was going to share a Google form, and I was going to have like a QR code come up on the screen. The students would have been able to, grab that and then follow me through my presentation on the Google form. And they would have been able to take notes as well as interact, as well as answer questions that I wanted. The form did not work, bro. Like I could not submit the form at all on my phone for
Now,
30 minutes.
now wait, is this because you had a Android?
Actually, it's not. It's not. It's more of I was using a new feature that I didn't understand, and there wasn't any way for me to pose an open-ended question.
Mm.
So I kept trying to pose an open-ended question inside of a quiz format. And it was like you need to like give the ability for someone to get a right answer or a wrong answer because it's a quiz instead of doing like a survey. And so I was like, I didn't understand that for like 45 minutes, and it didn't even work. Like I didn't understand that till almost after class. And so I was I was like, man, so I this has now pushed me into not leaving my house until like 9, right? So I was supposed to meet my videographer at 9, and I'm not leaving my house till 9. I leave the house like everything from what I understand is working. I leave the house and I grab my iPad and I tried to make sure that my iPad downloaded Canva so that I could do the presentation because my whole presentation is on Canva. It didn't do it. Like it just would not it just would not upload. It wouldn't let me log into my Canva account. It wouldn't even download Canva itself onto the iPad. Like it just wasn't working. I was like, this is interesting. At this time, it's 9 o'clock. I'm trying to do this. It's cool. Let me just get to the school. I can't control everything, D.
All right.
I can't control everything. So let me just get to the school. I start driving, man, and I leave the house. The phone stops working, bro.
It was
Like
Android,
not the
man.
not the battery died, not the battery. Simply connection to everything. No internet access. I couldn't see nothing on my GPS. I couldn't call anybody. My text messages wasn't going through. It was almost like I just went into a time portal. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. So for like 30, I would say probably about a good 45 minutes, I was sitting there driving with no like reception. And I didn't know
Did you
where I
know where
was
you was
going.
going? You didn't know
No,
where you was going.
I didn't even know where I was going, man. I was just driving because I've only been to the barber college once, but I did that with GPS on.
Mm.
I
So
had
did you
did
kind of remember like landmarks to help get you there?
I remembered I knew the street name. That's what I did know. I knew
Mhm.
the street name, but I didn't know what exit I got off of to get to the street. Like I just got off. Just got off. It was
Mhm.
like I don't want to drive super far because I just don't know where I'm going. Oh man. So I was driving, man, just driving.
And like what a inconvenience for this to happen on a big day that you've been talking about, and then all of a sudden technology just failed you.
Failed me miserably, bro.
Android
Epic
failed
fail. What
you.
was that?
Huh?
I couldn't hear you. You go ahead, speak into the mic a little bit deeper. What'd you say? Go ahead and speak into the.
I said the Android failed you.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you. It wasn't Android, but it definitely was a problem. I will say that. It definitely was a problem, man. So, man, I'm driving. I finally get to a space and I finally get a chance to connect with my videographer, right? I'm texting him. I'm saying, "Hey man, are you even able to get my text?" Right? So that was the text I sent. Can you even see my text? And he was just like, "Oh yeah, I tried to call you twice, but it wouldn't go through." I was just like, "Yeah, I can't call you either." And he was just like, "Okay, well, where are you at?" I was just like, "I don't know where in the world I'm at. I'm somewhere in Concord." Right? And so he's just like, "Okay, well, you tell me where you at. I might be able to give you directions." I was like, "I'm on Monument Street." He was just like, "Okay, just stay straight on Monument Street until you hit Willow Pass Road and then you make a left." And I was just like, "Okay." So I'm doing that and I'm driving on the street for like 10 straight minutes with no evidence of a Willow Pass Road, nothing.
It's
And
a
so
long
I
street.
was it was a long street. It's one of the main streets in Concord, but I don't
Okay.
know Concord like that. So I'm really
Right.
just driving. And I was just like, man, I'm driving on this street too long. In my head, I'm thinking that I've already passed the exit and I'm going away from the school and don't know it. That's what I'm thinking. But I was just like, you know what? It is what it is at this point. Either I'm gonna make it or I'm not. There was nothing. Like I had to make a conscious decision not to get upset because I wanted to be upset. I wanted to be upset with the drivers. Like, why are we driving so slow? It's everybody's living their life, man. Like nobody's here worried about you,
It
right?
seems like everybody always drives slow when you got somewhere to be.
Yeah, yeah, and that's how I felt. I felt like everybody was being intentionally slow, and I just like you. I said, Brad, you know what? You can't do anything about this. Like nothing you do in your emotions is going to change the situation. So take a deep breath, chill out, and let's go with what happens, man. Whatever happens, happens. So I finally got to my space and my mental space. I got that under control. And finally, my videographer is calling me. And he's like, he gets through. I don't know how he did it, but he got through. I pick up the phone. I'm like, and he said I was oddly calm, and this is because I just mentally shut down and was just like, I'm not about to be upset about this. So I was just like, hey
Right.
man, what's going on? And he was just like, hey, so how far are you? I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't see the Costco. I'm just driving. And I told him somewhere. He was just like, oh, it's coming up. I was like, okay, cool. Well, then I'll see you when I see you. He was just like, man, you was pretty chill to like cutting it close. Like, so the class starts at 10 a.m. and it's like 9:57, and I'm still driving just casual. Like, and so I pull up literally, man, at like 9:59. I park and get out and I walk in. And then so while I'm walking in, this is me still trying to get my iPad to work, right? So you were trying to talk about Android, but now it's my iPad. My iPad is not downloading
But the Android let
Canva.
them down first, y'all.
I think it was a mutual, like it was a holistic letdown. Like everybody let me down at the same time, man. But yeah, so I couldn't, and I was trying to do it, and so this place has an Apple TV, so I was already mentally prepared to be able to share my iPad with the TV so that
Mhm.
all the students can see my situation. I already don't got the QR code that I wanted to put in the presentation so that the students would be able to, get their phones out and do what they had to do. It just nothing was going right, bro. Nothing was going right. I wanted to go live on Instagram so that people that follow me that couldn't be present could tap into the education. Bro, I get in and I can't get my presentation on the TV at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing, I can't do nothing. No devices is connecting. And so I was just like, all right, presentation from my phone. So I literally take my phone, man. I literally take my phone and I'm like this, talking to him, talking to him like, all right, so the name of my class is You Don't Have a Career, You Own a Business. And they got to look at my phone. Like, what in the world? So, anyways, man. So that was the reason why I couldn't go live, because I needed to use my phone to actually show the presentation as much as I could. So they
Man,
eventually was able to get me set up, man. And Delmar, I tell you, it felt good speaking, man. It felt good teaching, and it felt like the students was listening. It felt like the environment was right. I'll just say that. It
yeah,
felt like the environment was right. And I had a great time. The class was, like I said, called You Don't Have a Career, You Own a Business. And as you know, I'm big on that right now, just making sure that people understand that we're business owners. We're not the business. And we're also not employees of this industry. We own a business. The moment that we get our licenses, we're an entrepreneur. But you do have to mature into the mindset to own a business. So it was a great, great day.
man. So you went through a lot this morning just to actually it started last night. Like you didn't get any sleep. You was up preparing for your big day, your presentation, and then you had no technology.
Yeah,
You couldn't use your GPS to get to the school, and
man.
then you get there, you gotta present on your phone.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like what a worst time, right? But I mean, I'm glad everything eventually worked out for you. How many students did you have in the class?
It was probably about 20 or so, about 20 or
Okay.
so students in the class, 15 to 20 students. Yeah, it was a good amount of attendees. Young, man,
Yeah.
young. Some older though. Some triple OGs was in there because I think I qualify being an OG at this
Hmm.
point.
Yeah, we I
And
think we
so
both do.
I think so too, bro. Like I
Because
think
it's
you
not
right
by
there.
age, it's just by the amount of experience that we have. Like I've been doing it for 18 years, 12 years legally. So if you want to use the 12 years, that's cool. But it's still a vet.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you yourself, you've been licensed since what?
2007, got into barber
Yeah.
college in '05. So
So you
yeah, man.
16 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, had
You
some
out there
people
like
that
Vince Carter, man.
still in the league, huh?
In the league.
Man, yeah, but there was some gentlemen that were there that was older than me, and then there was just a lot of students that was younger than me. A lot of students that was younger than me. So it was interesting speaking to them and kind of remembering that space that they were in,
Hmm.
but trying to cater the education for them to truly see beyond where they're at, and trying to impact their minds, impact their hearts to think higher, to expect more. But it was an interesting situation, man. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah. And man, you are a great teacher, and I know the more that you do it, you will continue to grow into that
Yeah.
role. Like I said, I've had an opportunity to be a part of your first, I believe it was your first Zoom class during COVID,
Yeah.
and
You've
I
been
was
a
able to.
part of a few of them, man.
I have.
Yeah.
I believe in being a supporter of my brother.
Yeah.
So, I try to support as much as I can, but it also helps me to being in those classes to help me change my mindset on, how I look at the barbering industry. Like you
Yeah.
said, we don't have a career. We own a business. We're not the business, but again, we own the business. So once you begin to learn that, your approach to what you do is different. And then also learning too that barbering isn't our life.
Yeah.
It's a part of our life. Is what we do to make a means to an end. But you can't let it consume you, and it can because there's so much. You get into the industry, you want to hustle. You
Yeah.
don't. I seen you post something on Threads the other day. It was saying that sleep. I don't sleep. Something like that. You said I'll let you quote it, but I read it, and
Yeah.
I had a reflection of me because that was me. Early in my career, I was a go getter. Like I had no plan B. I had to go out and get it.
Yeah.
I moved out of my parents' house with $200 in my account. I had a
Wow.
roommate, but I never went back to ask my parents for money. My mindset was I need to prove not to just my parents, but to myself that I can do this. So it made me hustle. It
Yeah.
made me,
Yeah.
have sleepless nights. It made me go out there and just show face value to attract clients. But even when I started getting established, I still was doing that, and I was losing sight of just my spiritual life and family, friends, just really kind of getting disconnected from my life, and barbering became my life. So for you to go there, and I'm not exactly sure everything that you talk to them about, but I know that you're with you going to that school and talking to those people, whether they're young or old, it'll help them see the real about barbering. That's what we do here at
Yeah.
Elevated Barbers podcast. Like, it's cool, be about your business, but still at the same time, you gotta learn how to be balanced too. And I know
Yeah.
that may be a little harder. You getting into the industry and you gotta, get your clientele. So it is a grind,
Yeah.
but
That
once you get to that
foundation.
point, yeah, you gotta build that foundation. But once you get to that point, I won't say cruise control, but you can kind of learn how to be more balanced in your life.
Yeah. And balance is so critical, man, because this industry and this role as just as an entrepreneur, like if you see it, if you understand that this is entrepreneurship when you get in, then it does make you understand why you have to go so hard in the beginning to
Mhm.
establish yourself because it's only you, man. One
Yeah,
of the things that I said inside of the class today is that as an entrepreneur, you're going to own the risk and the reward of all your efforts.
yeah,
And if you don't put in a lot of effort, then you got to own that you didn't do enough to get to where you wanted to go. And if you do get to where you want to go, then you got to reward yourself. You know what I mean? And you got to own that. That's like you own everything that you did to get to where you at, and everything that you didn't do to get to where you still at. If you did, you got to own that. Like take accountability for your actions because you own the risk and the reward of all your efforts. And it was it was like a real big situation getting out of barber college and kind of getting into the industry because you just commit your whole life. You have to,
yeah.
you just go to the shop and you be there all day, walk-ins or no walk-ins, you just be in there and you got to sit there, and it almost at some points feels like a waste of a day, and then all of a
There's some
sudden
days you'll be there 12 hours. You ain't touch a head for the
two
first
cuts,
11
bro.
hours.
Yeah.
And the 11th hour, somebody walk in. So it's like,
Yeah, and then be a long time client. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So yeah, and I was just about to say that, man. It's just amazing because you have to do that to build your foundation in certain ways, especially, and it's a lot easier now with social media, being able to market yourself and put yourself out there so that people can pay attention to you. It's a lot easier, but you still got to do the grunt work of creating the post, creating the account, creating a website or so that you want to have so that people can find you easy. You still got to do the grunt work. It's just a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, man, you're going to own the risk and the reward of all your efforts.
oh, absolutely. So did you share with some of the students about the Elevated Barber podcast?
I told them that I was the co host of the Elevated Barbers podcast, but because everything was frantic, I was not able to say, everybody go subscribe to Elevated Barbers podcast because my mind wasn't, I was just focused on trying to get the presentation out, like just
Yeah,
focused on being able to speak coherently about what I came there to do.
Right.
So,
No,
but I did say that I was the co-host of Elevated Barbers podcast, but I didn't plug it like I should have, man.
that's all good. We'll get them next time. I only asked because I noticed that we had a couple more people who followed the page, and
Hmm.
that may have been from Armani. Shout out to Armani who was helping your cameraman.
Yeah,
He was posting on the story. He was tagging you in it, so some people may have seen it on his story because you
yeah.
tag Elevated Barbers too. So shout out to
Oh,
Armani.
okay. Yeah, shout out to Armani, man. Armani is a
Yeah,
good guy. Like
yeah.
for real. Really good guy. So I really actually hope to do some business things with him in the future, just because of his mindset and just because of his approach to the industry and his heart behind helping people. You know, it's one thing to be trying to get money, but it's another thing to really have a passion to see someone else grow and to see somebody else develop and benefit from knowledge that you may have, because it's going to benefit their life. And he has that eye, he has that hunger where he wants to see the light bulbs go off for people. You
Hmm.
know, he wants to see the aha moments happen for people so that they can make different decisions and achieve different things. And I like that about him. I like that about him a lot. And it's something, it like I have that same thing where I really, when I speak to different people, or like I remember a lot of times where me and you would talk and I would be trying to convey something to you and I could tell you didn't get it. I was just like, man, like how do I say it that he could receive it? You know, and then there would be some way, somehow, either I would figure it out or you would just catch it. And then you'd be like, hey, so you talking about this? And I'd be like, yeah, yeah. And you'd be like, oh, okay, I see that. I see that. And those kind of like light bulbs, it allows you to see your way. You know what I mean? Like you could start to make different decisions with light
Yeah.
versus trying to make decisions in the dark.
Right.
And when you're doing stuff in the dark, you're gonna stumble a lot. But when you start to get light bulbs that go off and it illuminates your pathway into different aspects of your journey, that's beautiful. And I love being able to do that for people, somebody to see something different and therefore they see like a different future. You know, they're like, oh man, that's tight. I could do that.
Yeah, and that's something that I have to work on because the way my mind works, if somebody trying to go too deep and explain something to me,
Mm,
you lost me because I'm a simple thinking person. I don't want
yeah.
to say simple minded, simple thinking. So it's a simplicity of things that I learn. But also when I'm explaining stuff to people, some people don't think like I think. Like
Yeah.
I receive stuff in a simple manner. I'm trying to explain it to somebody in a simple manner and it's going over their head because they need the details. I don't need the details. I
Yeah.
just need to know, all right, we doing this. If we taking steps 1, 2, or 3, all right, cool. And I think that's why I've always hated reading instructions, like when putting something together or
Yeah.
reading a manual for some type of technology. Like I'm more hands-on or audio, like I'll figure it out later. But
Yeah.
like the instructions is too much. Like, bro, just tell me that A go with B and then later
Yeah.
on, we're gonna connect C. Like, don't tell me, yeah, A, twist A 26 times, and then go connect with B and then plug into C, but you only gonna do C at 5 o'clock. Like, don't
Yeah. Yeah.
that's too
It's
much
funny,
info.
man. Like people learn different ways. I'm the kind of person, like you said, I don't need to know the why.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know the what.
Yeah,
Like, give me the what, and I'm good. I'll learn the why when the what don't work. Like
right. Right,
that. So people be trying to give me like the reason why this button does what it does. I don't
right.
care, bro. Like I'm
Yeah,
not gonna hold it. I can't hold that information. That I'll be listening. Like okay, so you just explaining like the back end of this.
right.
I don't need to hold this information. Like
No,
I'll completely disconnect from you right there in your face because I can't hold it. I just need to know, what does the button do? Okay, so when I press this, it does this. Good, I got it.
that's how I am. I'm gonna sift out the necessary.
Yeah.
So whatever I need, that's what I'm keeping. All the other stuff is like, all right, this you wasting your time at this point. Like if the sky
Yeah.
is blue, all right, cool, sky blue. I don't even know why it's blue.
Yeah, yeah, like oh, it's the reflection off the water in the ocean and
Yeah.
the way that it hits off the like it's blue, bro. Stop with all the extra. It's blue. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. But other people, man, they like the why. And that's
Yeah.
why even with the education, man, just trying to get to understand how I deliver, how I
Mhm.
deliver education cuz I'm someone that will over simplify something that doesn't need to be simplified. I will repeat myself 17 times to ensure that you got the nugget that I wanted you to get. And
Right.
you been got the nugget, and all of my analogies probably done confused you.
Mhm.
So I'm,
Yeah.
I'm learning how to get more deliberate with my communication.
Yeah.
Just say what it is, maybe give one analogy and move on.
Yeah.
And that's very difficult because I feel, especially like today was good because I could see if people were comprehending and I could call you out on it, right? If I'm talking different things of that nature, I'm like, did you get it? Like did you get what I'm putting down? And some people be like, they be like, oh, you ask you asking me a question. Like, yeah, man, like did you understand what I said? They were like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like of course I did. And I was just like, okay, what did you not get, man? It's like break down those walls of comprehension so that
Yeah.
you can truly get it. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to just be up here talking just to be talking. That's not that's not my goal. I really want to be able to put something into your mind and into your heart that'll help you get to another level of barbering for yourself. So it was good, man. I had a fun time through all the foolishness too.
Yeah. The Android buffoonery. But
And the iPhone, I don't even know what to call it. I didn't have nothing that could rhyme with tomfoolery, but
but yeah, man, I got so much respect for people like yourself, like people who have the ability to teach or mentor. And like I said, I'm learning that because my wife, she needs to know the why, she needs the details.
mm,
I'm not like that. She tell me something like, all right, cool. This, all right, that's what it is. And I
yeah,
got clients like that too. Like I may change something, the way I do something, they want to know why. So it kind of annoys me that I have to get outside of myself and explain the why because I understand why I'm doing it, and
yeah,
I just expect you to understand why I'm doing it and
yeah.
the
Roll with it,
simplicity
bro.
behind it. But no, some people, I ain't gonna say they challenging you, but they want to know like what was your reason behind doing this. So now I gotta come up with a story or make up something like, oh, I ain't think about that. Like I just felt to do it.
Yeah, it just made sense. Like,
Right. Yeah, like I know why I did it, but I don't know how to explain it to you why I did it or why I felt the need to do it. Like,
yeah, like I didn't hold on to that part of the process. Like I
no,
just
like
like,
I discarded that.
yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, man, yeah. But I think that one day, man, you definitely gonna need to speak in some type of settings, man. Your the depth of knowledge that you have and wisdom that you have, you can't hold it to yourself, and that's why you got so many followers on IG. Because when you speak, boy, it's like Eminem dropped a new record, man.
Man, that's some
Like,
high praise, man.
yeah, man, it's big, man. You got a lot of weight behind your words because your words are so few. Like you don't speak unless necessary, and but
Yeah,
when it's necessary and you say something, man, stop the world.
no, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Definitely trying to do more of that. Just because me and you talked about finding our niches, niche, however you say it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
What's
gonna,
one?
I'm, I'm gonna say niche. You know what
Okay.
I'm talking about, though.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
to
Yeah,
y'all,
niche,
to
niche,
those of y'all who listening, y'all know what I'm talking about. But
niche.
niche, yeah. So, like, we talked about trying to find our niches on Instagram. uh, our niches, niches.
Niche, man. Niche.
Niche. Okay, so we'll go with that.
I think that's the French way of saying it. Is when you
Niche.
get niche. Yeah. Like Tanisha, but short. Niche. What's up, niche?
All right, we'll roll with it. So
It, it, it works
I
if
don't.
you
I don't need to know the why. So
just do it, man. Just do
yeah,
it.
just do it. So you and I talked about finding our niche on social media, and I find that when I post a haircut picture or video, cool, it gets some engagement.
Mm,
But when I post like insightful conversations or just my personal experience, it gets a lot of engagement. Or when I post something funny, which I very very rarely ever do, but for some reason I posted a funny video recently, and it got the most engagement I've ever had on social media. And then I posted it to YouTube Shorts, and it did some numbers like within the first 2 hours. And I was
mm,
like, okay, so maybe this is my niche, insightful or something funny, but it's relatable.
yeah.
So, but I still can be my authentic self because look, y'all see me on this camera, or y'all might, some of my clients might see me, or some of y'all who listen to this, y'all might know me, and y'all might think he always serious. I'm Brad. No, I'm
Oh yeah.
goofy.
He's a goofball.
I'm goofy. I just I like to laugh. I like to make people laugh.
Yeah.
But I think I do need to show a little bit more of my personality. And it's all a balance too, finding that balance. But I would like to show a little bit more of my personality, on social media going
Yeah.
forward. And
Man,
season two, I'm bringing more energy.
that's right. He's gonna say it from his chest.
Yeah, say it
That's
from
what
your
we
chest.
talking about. Well, all right, man. I think this was a good episode. If you feel the same, I mean, we 12 episodes in, man. 12
12.
episodes strong. And season 2 is gonna be coming to you in not so long. So I'm excited, man. We got some powerhouse guests
Yeah,
lined up for season 2, and season 1 has been a blast, my friend. Season 1 has been a blast.
yeah. Learning curves, some improvements. Um, just season one, it did its thing. Like
Yeah.
season two is only gonna get better.
Yeah.
So, we talked earlier not to get caught up in numbers, but just to put out, the content, like it's gonna do what it do.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited about season two. Looking forward to some of the guests that we're gonna have on.
Yeah.
Armani, if you're listening, we're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna
We
connect
coming for you.
soon, bro. We're coming for you. We
Yeah,
need
we
you on the
coming for
podcast.
you.
Look, I'm looking in the camera. We need you on the podcast.
Yeah.
We need you soon. Ivan Zook, we need you on the podcast. Barbara June, we need you on the podcast. We
Yeah.
got a few more, but that's just three of the people that we looking forward to having on the podcast that Brad and I recently connected
Make sure
with.
you put that on the YouTube short, my friend. Put that on the YouTube short and tag all of them.
I'm tagging all of them. I'm coming
That's
for
right.
y'all. I'm coming for y'all.
But with happiness. He's coming for us with happiness.
I'm coming for y'all.
All right, man. Well, today has been a very good episode. This is the close of season 1. Sorry, gonna be doing season
He
2 in
fast
a
forwarding
few.
already.
I
He
know.
already in season two.
I'm at the end of it as well. Like not
he
even
getting ready.
welcome.
He getting ready for season 3.
Yeah. But I don't even know how to close this out, man. Like I don't know if do we need an
I,
outro
I,
music? Like
I know how to close it out.
go ahead, man. Do it right.
For everybody who has joined the Elevated Barbers community, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being faithful, consistent listeners, and engaging with us. We're looking forward to keeping you and bringing you more great content as we go on with season 2. And who knows what's gonna come after season 2. But from the Prince, owner of Royalers Grooming, also co-host of the one and only Elevated Barbers podcast. I'm out.
It's time to level up, y'all. I'll see y'all soon.
One more time for season 1. Brad, you ready?
I don't know. What am I doing?
We doing the peace sign, man.
Oh, Three.
Peace. We out.
We out.